Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're talking about Xbox raising the price. Have they betrayed us or is there something more sinister going on? So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to get right into this. I noticed that all of my colleagues have already gotten all the clicks on it. I can only be so lucky to get that many clicks as Dreamcast Guy or Young Yeah or everybody else. I would love that. I would appreciate that. Click, like, hit that subscribe, share this video. Because I'm going to give you my unadulterated peer view on how I feel about Xbox upgrading or upping their prices to $70. So, for as long as I've had this channel, I have been consistent in calling out PlayStation and other developers for charging us $70 for broken, buggy, unfinished games that all should have went to a subscription service or Game Pass. And I've been pretty consistent about that throughout this channel. And I'm not going to give Microsoft a pass on this either. Just because they have Game Pass is not an excuse for them to raise the price to $70, but I kind of understand why. The games are $70 and it's only $10 for $10 for Game Pass. It's $10 without gold. So essentially, for every game you buy from Xbox, you're paying $10 extra for a Game Pass subscription. You're paying that anyways. So you might as well just buy Game Pass and not pay that. If you look at $70, that's for one game, that's 7 months of Game Pass at $10. I think it's a few less if you buy, the Game Pass with gold. So right there, I got, I know that we're about to go through another Xbox civil war over this. I know, because a lot of them are like, oh yeah, we don't care, whatever. And the funny thing is we all kicked PlayStation for the longest time for this, did we not? And now all of a sudden Xbox is going to do it to us. And now we're like, yeah, man. I mean, I guess we could all look at it this way. Hey, it's about time we're finally about to get $70 AAA bangers on Xbox. Oops. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. But I'll tell you what, man, if it has anything... Okay, so here's the thing. Here's one thing that I will go to bat for Xbox. With PlayStation, over the last couple of years, we have paid $70 for every game they've put out. And a lot of those have been last-gen games. They were PlayStation 4 games that were upgraded for PlayStation 5. The one good thing that Xbox has going forward, because this will take effect in 2023. So starting in 2023, all of their major AAA games are going to be $70. I know, let that sink in. $70. For me, that is pretty much hey man, you're a streamer. That's a tax for you. And I do save a really good amount of money by using Game Pass. Like I do. But on the Xbox first party games, I usually buy those day one. I pay for those. So that is effectively going to tax me an extra $10 for every single one of those games that I buy going forward so that I can make content for you, because I'm not going to buy PlayStation's games and then not buy Xbox's games. To me, that just doesn't make any sense to me. So when it comes to the first party stuff for both consoles, I usually buy both games so that I can put my money where my mouth is and review that game and like really, put forth the effort and Well, for me, I got a PC too, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I get 2 copies of the game and an Xbox Series S, so essentially I get 3 copies of the game for $70. So I'm okay with that. I'm actually really okay with that. If like I buy Starfield and it runs terrible on Series X, I can put it on my PC and I can run it then. If my PC can't run it, I can upgrade my PC and I can run it later. So that's one of those things where, the biggest thing is I'm okay. Me personally, I'm okay with that because I get 2 copies of the game. Another thing, like we were just talking about, was PlayStation's made us pay $70 for last-gen games. Whereas all the games coming in 2023 and forward for Xbox will all be next-gen, 100% next-gen games. They won't be cross-gen, they'll be next-gen games. Well, I'll tell you, on this channel, because they are going to charge $70 for these games, I'm going to I'm going to treat them more like I'd treat the PlayStation first party bangers when they come out. Now, I'm not saying that the games are never going to be worth $70. Like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that because, man, I paid all last generation. I was paying $100 for all of the Ubisoft games. I was buying the gold edition of every Ubisoft game. I was paying $100 for Forza Horizon games and Forza Motorsports. All the other games. Like, I'm not saying $70 is a bad deal. I'm just saying that it really does kind of put a mental block up for people when it comes to sales. And I get why Microsoft is doing it. I completely understand their reasoning. Because costs are going up everywhere. Obviously, clearly costs are going up. But so is, like, shareholders' freaking money, and, like, rich people are getting richer, like, a lot richer. So I don't know. I mean, like, we love this medium. We want to play video games. I'm not here to damage control for Xbox. This is one of the things that, I mean, most of us saw this coming. Like, I saw it coming. I saw it coming a little while ago. I even made a video, saying that, hey man, they're probably going to raise the price of the games next year. All their AAA bangers are probably going to be $70 next year. And I do think it's kind of a way to try to push more people toward Xbox Game Pass. Like, I get that. And like I was just explaining in the beginning of this video, 7 months for $10 a month. But let's face it, man, some games I just don't need to own. Like God of War, I would have much rather played that on PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Premium. I would have much rather played that on that instead of buying and owning that game, because I have no real desire to go back and play that, but I will go back and play around with it because I own it, and I am going to eventually make more content on that game. Whether it be like a comparison video to something else, or I will continuously use God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, all of these $70 AAA bangers that I've been buying. I will continue to use them to further my career on YouTube. I love doing this. I love making these videos. I love being a part of the gaming world where I can actually have an audience to where I can talk about this stuff. But I'm a realist. If you've been at this channel for a while, I'm a realist, man. I don't overhype stuff. I caution myself most of the freaking time when it comes to games. I let my inner pony out every time a PlayStation first party game is gonna launch, and I buy it day one, and I have these unrealistic, overhyped expectations for those games because that's what they've done for me for a very long time, and lately it's not been that way. So, but when it comes to Xbox games, at least we know we're going to get a complete story, some multiplayer, or it's just going to be a game that, for the most part, most of the games I've bought, except for, Sea of Thieves. I haven't really played a whole lot of Sea of Thieves, but everything else I bought, even Crackdown 3, I've put a pretty good amount of time into them. Like, I feel justified in most of the experiences that I've played on Xbox. So I do 100% believe that they are going to deliver at least a playable experience that I can continue to play for a little while out. Like, I believe in that. Like, I do believe that. When it comes to Sony first party games, I know I am going to get a beautiful game with a pretty decent story for the most part. The last couple have been like, oh boy, not too great, but I feel like they can come back around, and, as soon as they get out of this whole little head funk of politics and all of that stuff, they'll probably come back and they'll probably start doing good again, and we'll be all right. I feel like this generation is really going to start. I paid $70 for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I have zero regrets. 10 out of 10 game for me. I freaking love the campaign. I love the gameplay. There's so much freaking content in that game. It's unbelievable. And we're going to have 2 years with it. So I'm pretty excited about that. I had no problem paying the $70 for that. Even God of War, I didn't really like it, whatever. I mean, it was $70, but I got some beautiful visuals. So is what I'm saying is I do kind of expect the level of quality for Xbox games to increase with that $70 price tag. I expect, better motion capture, better facial animations, better detail in the characters, especially in something like Gear 6 and stuff like that. I want to see Xbox Studios truly progress, and don't get me wrong, I still want them to strike a balance. I still want that 60 FPS, but I want to see the visuals kind of come up to the point where where they're good. Like, I don't expect them to ever be Sony good, just because of the fact that I don't want to have to leave all that gameplay and stuff on the table. Like, I don't want Xbox Studios to focus so much on pretty visuals that they leave out all the fun and exciting stuff of the video game. A recent game, the Callisto Protocol. It was a fairly short game. It took me 11 hours, but that game looked incredibly beautiful the whole way through and ran at 60 frames a second. So I will be basing a lot of my opinions off that game, as well as God of War. That looked incredible, but both of those games were cross-generation games, and if two cross-generation games can look that good and run at 60 frames a second, I got some pretty decent hopes for the rest of this. Starfield launching without a 60 FPS, yeah, that'd be a no-go. No-go, man. If they want $70 for that game, it needs to have a 60 FPS mode, and it needs to have a decent resolution. It can't just come out at like 792p at 60 frames a second. I want 1440p at 60 frames a second minimum. 1440p, 60 frames a second minimum. It'll be highly optimized for the Xbox. It'll be highly optimized for the Xbox Series S, and I want to see a minimum of 1080p at 60 frames a second for Xbox Series S games. I want to see that. And I want to see, like a 1440p native mode at 30 frames a second for Xbox Series S, and, 4K or upscaled 4K or whatever they're going to have to do to get, 4K 30 or even 4K native 30 on Xbox Series X. I want to see that. I want to see more things like, the AI be used to better make these worlds for Xbox. Like, I want to see Xbox really utilize the development tools that they have for Xbox Series X and really bring those features forward. I don't want a whole bunch of Crackdown 3s. Crackdown 3 was not a bad game, but I don't want a whole bunch of Crackdown 3s for $70. I don't want a bunch of Sea of Thieves for $70. Games that launch bare bones and then we got to wait 5 years for them to continuously build out. Like, I don't want to see that coming from Xbox Studios this generation. I want to see good, solid games. Some open world. I want to see some, that Indiana Jones game. I want that to be like really high quality when it comes out. I want to see Avowed come out and be like banger quality. Like, I want a good epic RPG that looks really good from Avowed. I want to see, Hellblade 2. I want to see that game really, really look and feel good. And I mean, if it's going to be a linear experience, I want it to be good. I want it to have a good story. Hopefully the story can pull me in more than, some of the other games that I've played lately. What else do we got? Redfall. I want Redfall to be an amazing game. Like, I want to be able to get in that game, play it single player, and then get on there on game night and hang out with a few of you guys and play that game and like really enjoy that. I want the visuals to look crisp and clean. I just saw, I downloaded Fortnite, the Fortnite update using Unreal Engine 5.1, and that game looks literally incredible now. I was like, wow, man, this looks really, really, really good. So I'm like, yeah, dude, if they can get Fortnite running at 60 on Series S with Lumen and Nanite and everything, yeah, dude, I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about the future of these consoles. A lot of that, see, I've been a little skeptical lately just because of some of the stuff that's come out. I'm like, ooh, boy, man. Like, I want to see that on the PC. And then I've bought some games on the PC. I've looked at them. I've looked at the games on the Xbox, the PlayStation, and I've just been like, for the most part, they pretty much look the same. Like, they look pretty dang close. The PC does have a few advantages, but not enough to where it's like, oh my gosh, man, just baby in the bathwater out. No, like, it's like it's an upgrade. My PC is an upgraded Xbox. I can play my Xbox games much higher and my PlayStation games much higher, and that's cool. That's exactly what I like about it. And I get to play other games that don't come out on console, that hopefully something like Bloody Spell will come to Xbox and PlayStation and be a great game. So I'm not 100% disappointed about it, but I do want to see some major improvements going forward for this extra $10 because I know I got to pay it. I know I'm going to pay it. I mean, like, some games I'll probably, play on Game Pass, but I feel like I'm going to be the one paying for these games, so I want that extra quality. I want that extra finishing touches, you know. Like when I want games to not launch like Halo Infinite did. I want them to be complete. And if that takes a little more time and we have to wait a little while longer, I would rather them be pretty polished when they come out, as opposed to getting something like Horizon Forbidden West where the performance mode looked terrible for like 5 months straight. I don't want to pay $70 for a game I got to wait to be fixed. Like, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do that for Xbox. I don't want to do that for PlayStation. I don't want to do that for 2K games. I don't want to do that for Activision. I don't want to pay any of these guys like EA to beta test Battlefield 2042 for a whole year and then them turn around and give it away free. Like, I don't want to pay extra money to beta test. I want to pay for a good game and then be able to bring you coverage for that game so that you can see if that's something that you want to buy. Because I only buy the games that I like and that I want to try. So, yeah, it really sucks. I don't want to have to deal with any more of these buggy, broken, busted messes that I got to wait to be fixed, because that makes me mad. I hate having to buy a game and then wait until it gets fixed so I can actually start playing it, because I do that a lot. If a game comes out and it needs patches and stuff, I just quit playing it until it's fixed. So, thanks for listening to my rant. I really appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another live stream, possibly. And then, yeah, that was pretty fun, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that Midnight Suns video. It was thanks to you that I was even able to get review code for that. So I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and keep watching and share and like these videos and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.